I have no idea where I'm going. I have no idea how long I'm going to be out. It's a Tuesday. I worked my butt off last weekend upgrading our company, all our servers and PCs, to a new endpoint security system. It's a time-consuming process. And consequently, got today off in exchange. It's a Tuesday, and I believe it is the 21st of November. And it's 50 degrees. High of 52 today. Sunny as all get out. Eminently rideable day. And could very well be the last day, probably will be the last day I go on any long ride other than squeaking in a short trip here or there on a weekend. It's fine. Yeah, November 20th. Once you start getting into November, December, your options are pretty limited. I ordered some heated gloves, which aren't going to be around until mid-December, so probably not going to get to benefit from those this year. It's a bummer. I ordered them in October. It was a new Tourmaster glove, and they said it would be about a month. And then just last week, I got an email that it was delayed another month, so I'm pretty disappointed about that. But next spring, I'll be able to get some rides in earlier than normal to work, things like that, because I will have heated gloves, which is really the only area I have trouble with keeping my hands warm. Fingers. No fairing, no guards, no heated grips, so I really need some heat down there. So, I started riding in August of 15. It's now November of 17, so 2 years and 3 months, and in that time I have put 23,000 on my bike. Just under 1,000 a month. This year was a little challenging because of rain. Didn't get quite as many rides in, but I'm pretty pleased with the amount of riding I've been able to do and the improvements in my skill level. I've done 3 rider courses, and I'm thinking about getting the Ride Like a Pro DVD and starting on that. Maybe watch it over the winter and start practicing in the spring, something like that. So guys, here's a question for you. Memory. How well do you remember things? As a young person, I had an awesome memory. I could remember names, places, dates, instant recall. And I started working in IT back before it was called IT, back in the 80s. And there was certainly a need to remember lots of stuff. I was a programmer early on. Commands and syntax, formulas, all kinds of stuff like that I needed to remember for work. But I just had a command of anything I put into my brain. I know I could just instantly recall it when I needed it. And my initial instances or noticing that I didn't remember things like I used to kind of started a little over 5 years ago, which was when I lost my son. And that was a very traumatic event in my life, obviously. And I remember talking with my family doctor about it that year, and he said, you know, it is normal as you get older that we're just not going to remember things as well as we used to when we're young. But it's one thing to not remember where you put the car keys. However, it's another thing when you don't remember what the car keys are used for. So that was one thing he used to explain the difference of, you know, when you should be concerned and not. And the other thing, obviously, was having gone through something very traumatic. That affects your memory also. It's similar to somebody who's been in a car accident or some kind of accident and they don't remember what happened. And they have like a period of memory loss. It could be for hours or even longer before the event. They just don't remember what they were doing. So, but years have gone by, and I've kind of come to grips with the fact that maybe it's just coincidence or what, but I'm not going to have that instant recall memory that I used to have. It's just not there anymore. And it is really frustrating because working in the technology field, there are so many terms and technologies and things to remember. And so far, I haven't had any problems at work. I mean, I'm remembering the important things. But if there's a company that has a new product, it's not unusual for me to be like, oh, what's that company called? Like, I'll know the purpose of the product and that I need to use it or not, and things like that. But we could be sitting in a meeting and I'm like, oh, you know, what's the name of that thing? And people are just looking at you like, well, what's it called? And I notice it a lot with, whoa, we got some loose gravel here, baby. I don't know if they cindered this road yesterday or what. Okay, better watch that. For example, actor names. Somebody might mention a movie. I remember that movie with, and you can see his face, or her face, and it's such a weird feeling. It's like it's in your brain. You know it's there, but you can't find it. It might be likened to looking around your house for something that you put somewhere and you know it's in there, but you just can't find it. And I've resisted the urge to just pull up my phone and Google and find the answer, because I want to find it myself. I want to make the brain synapse work. I want to reconnect whatever disconnected. And what I find interesting is I can rack my brain for a few minutes and be like, nope, I just can't remember his name. And then an hour later, bing, there it is. It's just like, it's like I put in a request in the brain lost and found. And it was like, okay, we'll get back to you. And then subconsciously the brain went to work. And an hour later, here's the answer. And that kind of is funny when that happens. But when I was young, I knew so many jokes. I used to be such a jokester when I was young. I knew hundreds of jokes. And I can remember older folks telling me, I can't remember jokes. I used to know jokes, but I can't remember them. I can't remember this or that. And I was kind of like, yeah, like if it was a failing of theirs, like you're not trying hard enough, or you don't really care. It didn't really register with me that there genuinely was this real issue where people just can't remember things when they get older. And my wife, who is just a couple of years older than me, but as long as we've been together, she's always had an issue with remembering things, whether it's people's names or places, road names, things like that, from like in her 20s. And I never really understood why, because she's very intelligent, smart, has talents and abilities, but this inability to recall certain things. And so I had commented to her the other day that, you know, I'm just This is me now. This is the new me. I just can't remember things. And she just kind of said, well, now you know how I've felt my whole life. And I felt bad for her that it's something I can empathize with now. Anyway, I know some of you guys are getting up there in years. I'm just curious if you've had similar issues with remembering little details and find that frustrating. You know, what age did you start noticing that? And is there anything you do to combat it? Just wondering, I know I'm not the only one. Please leave some comments or even a response video of what it's been like for you and how you deal with it. 10 minutes. Was owned by Wayne. Okay, Wayne. The name is coming to me. Wayne. Wayne Newton. Ding, 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 ding. Alright, it took almost 5 minutes to pull that out of my brain. Wayne Newton owned the tenement back in the 80s. Wow. Okay, there you go. That's how that delayed thing works. Actually, I did good that time. It was only 5 minutes. I'll probably feeling pretty good here. Just going to keep riding. Maybe I'll do another vlog for another day. Hey guys, until next time.